And boys and girls, welcome to Outskirts Overland. Today I got a few things. Lined up for us to go over. So we'll be starting off with a few awesome things. A couple little things first. I mean, freaking psyched to be on my third week, keeping it consistent, getting things going, and really happy to have you all here. It's really greatly appreciated. Um, I took the chat out for the first 30 minutes or so in order to be able to kind of kind of kind of get along with what I'm trying to get going, as well as not distract myself from the topics I'm trying to cover in the first half hour or so here. So I will still interact with you guys. It just won't be visible to you guys if it pertains to what I'm talking about. So first things first, as people start rolling in here, and they are rolling in at the moment. So let's wait for a few more people and go from there. I got my drink of choice tonight is the Purple Haze Bang. I have absolutely you know abandoned my monster tonight for Purple Haze. Take it how you want it. So awesome. So what I'm talking about, first things first, is today I wanted to go into not only just my reasoning for starting into overlanding or doing overlanding or continuing it or spending my money on it. Um, I also want to talk about you guys. So I want to kind of give my mindset on why are you doing overlanding? Like how I see it. And just the why around what I'm doing. So I want to start with, why for me, why for me has changed. And I think that's fine for everybody if it does change. But why for me has changed because, at first when I was younger and single and just looking, it was a way in which to get me to cooler rocks to Boulder. But in the sense of, as times went on, I have kids. I have a little, I have a little more money. Like when you're kind of broke working. When I was in the military, super broke. Got out of the military, I managed a GNC. Yeah, dating myself there. I managed a GNC, and then I opened up my own gym. So that's kind of the progression that I made. So went from like real broke military, GNC's kind of, it's a job. It did okay, but I didn't have a lot of money. So why I did it initially was it was a means in which to get to cooler places. So like it was very helpful for me to get to places I wanted to explore. And I was far more fit than I am now and much more interested in, the on foot exploration. I'm not going to say that to say I parked my truck at trailheads and went on hikes. I still was into like going back, but I did not have a considerable lift on my truck. I did have a rear locker in my Dakota. I don't even have one of those now, but I did have a rear locker. I did have 33s. I had whatever Goodyear Duratrax at the time. 2006, there wasn't this wide variety of things, and 33s are freaking huge at the time. But nothing crazy, just a puck lift. And it just helped me get places. As time has progressed, overlanding isn't necessarily the taxi that gets me to the place. The overlanding itself is the place. So I'm really now enjoying a lot of the going, you know? So I'm really enjoying a lot of just going. Like I don't know who said it. It was a YouTuber or it was a podcast. I think it might be Scott Brady. And if you guys don't know who Scott Brady is, he is in a lot of ways kind of the godfather of overland travel, and he runs Expedition Portal, which is a huge like forum, probably the only place there was to get things going. So I I really like Scott Brady. You should look him up if you guys are interested. He just went through Africa in a new Ineos Grenadier. If you guys never even heard of the Ineos Grenadier, super freaking cool car. Literally a car brand and a car model for overlanding. It's just an overlanding vehicle. It has a BMW drivetrain, super cool thing. Anyways, so it's turned more into the thing that I the thing that I love to do is adventure in the vehicle, which is overlanding. I mean, in my opinion. So I really like to do a little bit more in the vehicle, out of the vehicle, more dependent on the vehicle. The vehicle's the base. I'm no longer driving to this gnarly place, packing up my tent and everything in my backpack to go out in the backcountry to hike or boulder or climb and then stay out there a couple of days to come back to get off this epic trail on the mountain or whatever. I mean, I'm doing it all in the truck. The truck's my backpack, which is sick and so freaking cool. Like I have a truck that I could have never imagined owning or backing or building or doing. I mean, I have so much cool stuff. And that brings me into my next point. That's really just through the persistence of doing it, like just doing it for so long. You really learn to like save and invest in the things you want. So that's really why I like it, because it's just adventure. It's in nature. I like that I can get out. I don't want to be in a place where everybody can get to. I don't want to be in a place where a Toyota Camry can get to. When and a lot of people talk about Colorado, and we just did Colorado last year for multiple days. We did the whole thing, camped free the whole time, went through the stresses of it, finding spots, not finding spots. So really, really was living it. I don't think Colorado is a great, in this opinion. Like I said, this is going to be my opinion. I don't think Colorado is a great place for people to gauge overlanding off of, because it's so popular. And actually, it's none of the wheeling I did there was super difficult. And when I talk overlanding, like you can go do Ophir Pass, you can go do, Black Bear Pass, but those are just trails. Like it's a start and an end. You're not camping up there. So what I like to do is go on a trail and camp and experience the stars and the moon and the sunset. Watch the rain coming in off the mountains is one of my favorite things. Like watching the clouds roll in, or you can see it raining on the other side of the mountain and you're dry, and it's super freaking sick. It's awesome. The echoes in the valleys and stuff. And that's awesome. It really is. And I think the mountains are a great place to travel. Like they're a great place to go. They're a great place to experience. The mountains are awesome. But as far as just like overlanding, getting away from people, being more secluded, further in the backcountry, everyone in Colorado's in the backcountry, like legit, like legitimate. Like I could never be in Colorado, and maybe I'm completely wrong on this, in a place that I could do like AMSR, like because there's gonna be people, like there's always people driving up the roads and stuff, even as secluded as God. So overlanding to me is very much like getting away, not on a trailhead, not in a very highly touristed place. Um, I see Gallant down there. He said Idaho. The Sawtooth Mountains are a huge one for me. I'd love to elk hunt up there. It's extremely treacherous, and because of that, people don't go. But absolutely, Idaho is very, very high on my list. Idaho has a BDR as well. Seems freaking awesome. I would love to do the Idaho BDR, and that's overlanding to me. Although those trails started off specifically for bikes, adventure motorcycles, but those BDR trails, you can camp along them. I'm not much for the wheeling. I'm not I guess I heard the term recently, Rocklander. Like I don't want to go on a trail that I can't camp on. I don't want to go on a trail that I can't camp on. I want to camp off the trail always. I don't want to do this circle back to a base camp, which there will be a time where I get in a conversation with one of my friends here about that exact topic: base camping, rooftop tents, mobile, etc. So we will talk about that, but I'm not going to get into that. So that also leads me into what I choose for overlanding. This is just me, so I'll touch on what might be you. So just for me, what I choose for overlanding is function based, 100% function based. I think my truck looks sick, but I also have everything in my truck as a function. I don't have much. Like I don't. I might have a few things, right? Don't get me wrong. At some point, I'll touch on that, but I don't have much that's not functional. I have some really cool stuff, but literally everything in my truck has a function. Whether it's the winch, the lights, like everything's got a function. Like I don't have excessive things. And I think there's a use case for some of the flashy stuff if you do things a certain way. And I also think it's cool for the people that pick products based on how they look. Like that's not what I do, but that's me. Like that's me. That's why I'm here and that's why I want to cultivate this community because that is just me. Like I I look a lot at warranties and load ratings and pull ratings and if it's certified crash, which most none of the bumpers are, unless you look at AEV, who outfits the Prospector XL and stuff. They do a lot of OEM stuff, but that's big money stuff. In my opinion, that's big money stuff. At once again, but everything I pick and I do is for the everything I do is for the reason of making it a better experience for me. I'm also not roughing it anymore. I mean, I don't have a zero breeze in the summer, but I do have a diesel heater and a lot of means to stay warm, many means. I got a deck system, so I carry a lot of stuff, pots, pans, spatulas, impact wrench. I mean, blankets, it's all I mean, I carry it all, and I will really get into that. But what I pick is based on function. So why I do it is because I use the truck as my adventure vehicle. Like it's my adventure vehicle, expedition vehicle, overland vehicle, whatever, doomsday vehicle, prep vehicle, whatever you want to call it. But the truck is the focal point now of my travel, essentially. Experiencing the cool things is the effect, the effect, the reward of having that truck that'll get me there. But I really do things that way. Now, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Like, why do you do it? Not right now, but like, why do you do it? When I get past into the side of things where I'm asking you guys questions like, why do you guys do it? What's your methodology? Like, I'm Mr. Function, and I want to be in the truck. I don't want to base camp. You know, I don't want to hike and backpack camp. I don't want to do those things. And that's why I do it. I like to adventure in the truck and go places where people aren't. And that's why even trying Colorado, I was like, I even actually liked the Ozarks better than Colorado because you can get away and see all kinds of cool stuff. Not epic views like Colorado. Like if anybody on here like is a big photographer, I mean, dude, sick views, sick freaking views from the red dirt areas down south in the southwest to the freaking mountains. But man, it's sick views. If you want to make content or whatever, it's awesome. So, which leads me to my next point. In Colorado, I had a couple of things that that kind of hooked that kind of impeded me while I was in Colorado. I ended up in some situations where it was like so packed. Like the further you went up the trail, wasn't available to camp. You couldn't camp in town anywhere other than a hotel or an Airbnb. So we ended up camping on a trailhead and around people, naturally, a couple van life people and a couple other like overland type people. But that brings me to my next point, and that's places that you can, excuse me, places that you can stay on the road if you're not GPS and map fluid. So like places that you can always stop. And the reason I bring this up is there are going to be instances if you start traveling long distances, like I myself don't have any national, like real big national forest, public land, BLM land, any sanctuaries in which are in my backyard. So I use the term I'm 5 hours from anywhere. I got that from another guy, so I can't say I created it, but I'm 5 hours from anywhere. Period. So I always have to drive. So the reason that these places to stay overnight are good, like they might make you, if you're new to this hobby, feel a little more safe to kind of go. Like if you can plan your trip and have an end point to your adventure, but it's a long distance, these are places that you can stay overnight for free, and they'll work for you. And I'm probably going to provoke a couple new ideas that you guys didn't have. Like I think everybody thinks Walmart, like Walmart. I'm going to go to Walmart. Well, Walmart is big in the RV community, but Walmart's just not the end all be all. Okay. Like not all Walmarts let you be there, and every freaking buddy knows Walmart will let you stay there. So you got truckers, RVers, homeless folks, you got a lot of stuff. Okay. So Walmart is one of the options for sure, but Walmart's not the only option. Okay. So I want to kind of touch on a couple other places. You know, Cracker Barrel will let you stay there. Cracker Barrel is actually extremely overnight parking friendly, and it's right by a food place. It's you got bathrooms in there, and they're going to be privy to letting you use those things. So Cracker Barrel's that probably the best one I've found out about in the most recent time. And there's a couple other straight bangers on this list, but Cracker Barrel is awesome. So Cracker Barrel's an awesome one. Again, Walmart, everybody's going to Walmart, but take notes here. Cracker Barrel. Okay, Cabela's got bought out by Bass Pro Shops, but Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops will let you stay overnight. Cabela's stores before Bass Pro Shops bought them also had dump stations and public dumpsters. I think they have gotten rid of the dump stations, but again, I don't that doesn't matter to me, but for some people watching it might. Like I think you can overland in a larger rig with plumbing. I think that's very doable, and I think even a lot of people are heading that route with like truck campers and things. So, but they used to also have free dumpsters that you could throw your trash in, which is super nice, and not feel bad about it, because I know all of us at some point in time, guys, if you haven't done it, you're lying to me. Have went to a gas station and kind of like peeked over the thing and been like, yeah, that shit's open, and chuck your fucking shit in there. You're like, I'm doing it. We're doing it. So, but Cabela's and Bass Pro will let you do it. Okay. So you don't have to have the kind of the guilty conscience. Okay. Next, Home Depot, Lowe's, and Menards, all huge parking lots. They will let you stay overnight. And don't get me wrong, my buddy Johnny just stayed at a place. Pop out your rooftop tent, freaking, if run what you brung, show them what you got. Don't be hesitant to pop out your rooftop tent at Menards. Like, for sure, dude. Like, just do what you do. Secondly, there's a couple options here that are they're free and they're not free. So they're free and they're not free. Like Anytime Fitness, Planet Fitness, they'll let you stay there, but they also have shower amenities. But you can get a national membership for like a little bit more than your regular membership, and it's a nationwide brand. So like, I look at these when I first started. I had a trailer. And when I first started overlanding as well, I never went to Anytime Fitness to work out. Like I said earlier, I owned a gym. I had my own gym, but I had a nationwide Anytime Fitness membership because at the time, that was the only thing you could do. But you could stay overnight there, use their Wi-Fi, shower, bathroom. Sometimes they got like energy drinks and food. Like, just think about it, guys. Like, I'm not saying that you need to get a gym membership, but you could, a lot of times at your Anytime Fitness, Planet Fitness, if you get a day pass, they'll let you have the 24 hours. Because you know what I mean? Like, they'll let you have that full 24 hours for whatever, $10 or whatever. So I put it at the bottom of my list because it is not free per se. But as I go into my next ones, they're free to stay at, but showers cost money. They have shower amenities, but they cost money, and they're kind of expensive if you guys didn't know that. So I put it in the middle because it's one that I really like, because it's not well known that you could stay there. It's not a good place for RVers, buses, and semis, but it's a great place if you're an overlander. It's a fantastic place because it's a much smaller parking lot, and you could fit your 4Runner, Jeep, whatever. Even if you had a trailer, like, there's going to be room for you there to sleep, stealth camp if that's what you do. So that's all sick. Now that leads me to my next. um, is your pilots, flying J's, travel centers, truck stops. Now, those places are very available to you. Those places are extremely available to you to use to stay overnight. And they're truck stops, and I have a preference. My girlfriend knows, like, if there's a Love's, we're stopping at a Love's. If you need an extra blanket or you need something, like, they have a lot of amenities. They have a lot of 12-volt stuff, phone chargers. Like, Love's is where I want to go. That's my preference. Love's. I travel many times from California, northern and southern California to Missouri, and only stopped at Love's. I'm bought in on Love's. But if you guys didn't know, a shower, so you can buy showers or a package of showers. But a shower to truck stops anywhere between 15 to 22 bucks. One shower. And you got to wait in line, take a number. It's a whole ordeal. If you've never done it, it's a thing. So truck stops free to stay at. Showers are super expensive, which is why I will take a step back and go, hey, that Anytime Fitness, I I lived by Anytime Fitness when I was just in California. And when I'd get to Missouri, I'd use it too sometimes. I never used it on the road actually, but you could. You absolutely you for sure could. And all of these gyms, Planet Fitness, Anytime Fitness, they're going to have an app where you can search near me from where you are. Turn your location on. So I really, really like those places. So those are the places that you can be. Now, there are some secondaries. Camping World and RV dealerships will sometimes allow you to stay there as they're advocates of the hobby. Now, they're not necessarily advocates of overlanding, but Camping World sells rooftop tents online. So it is worth a shot. You're much more likely to get a yes from, Camping World or an RV center than you are from Starbucks, like, so just again, situational awareness with that included. So, and then secondly, there's your grocery stores. Like, some grocery stores dependent, you should go in and ask, like, if they're okay with it. But like, your natural grocery stores are pretty open to nomadic life and letting you camp there. And again, I'm focused on overlanding, but that includes van life, etc. Right? Like, car camping, whatever, if you're sleeping in your car. So a lot of, like, your Sprouts, Whole Foods, natural grocers, maybe even Trader Joe's. They're gonna. I guarantee they're a little more supportive than, Hy-Vee, Safeway, Schnucks, anything like that. Kroger, probably not as likely. I mean, you can go to Walmart and be around everybody though too, so that's an option. So those are all free places you can go to camp, and hopefully you guys got a lot of great ideas there. I mean, in my mind, I'm always gonna give my opinion. Hit Cracker Barrel because you can get breakfast cheap and outside of your car. Like, that's awesome. Or Anytime Fitness, whatever. Those are my picks. Just and Loves is there, but not necessarily my pick. So Cracker Barrel and Anytime Fitness. Now, on to the next subject I have, which the subjects are going to roll here on the bottom, and you guys will see what I got. So I've got, secondly, that ties right into places where you can go walk your dog for free inside. So say you're in a situation, and this applies to the previous statement, where you've got your dog with you, you're getting a service done on your vehicle, or you have inclement weather. It's raining, it's snowing, it's icy, your car's broke, your car's getting serviced, oil change, tires, whatever, got towed. There's places you can go for free to walk your dog inside that don't mind that you do it. Now, there's a lot of places that are dog friendly, but they sometimes, depending on the location, they will frown upon it. I have two places that'll let you go no matter what. You have to ask. You should go to customer service and ask, but Lowe's and Home Depot will let you just go inside and walk your dog. Be inside with your dog. There's no time limit on that outside of their hours. So you can go walk your dog inside, get your steps in, get your dog their daily exercise if that it need be, so that they're not wound up once you get your car back, because you potentially, if you needed that, you were in a stressful situation. So, and I have a dog. He's here somewhere. I'll bring him on here in a second if he'll come. But I have a dog, and that's good stuff too. to pay attention to is where you can take your dog for free to walk them, because you might be in a you never know what situation you're going to be in to where the advice I just gave you is useful. But I can think of many ways. Come here, Marvin. Come here, buddy. So my dog is Marvin. Come here, bud. He doesn't want to see you guys. Come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Come on, come on, come here. So, guys, this is Marvin. He's my Aussie Doodle, fancy doggy. But Marvin, when I previously did a lot of fitness stuff, Marvin had quite a few friends. Marvin had some fans. So this is Marvin. He's an Aussie Doodle, fancy guy. He comes with us sometimes. He loves the truck, and so it's good to know where you can take your designer dog to walk. So that having a place to walk your dog in a stressful situation, you can definitely use those places. Now, lastly, what I'm going to talk about is, and I get this a lot actually, what's on my radar. Awesome. I should be back now. Everybody can hear me now. My wireless headset did not like screen share for some reason. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, and Johnny said, Johnny's a quick break from our sponsors, Ladina's sourdough. Ladina makes all my sourdough. It's delicious, and we're probably going to end up with chickens and goats and all kinds of shit. Here we go. So whatever. Welcome to my life. You get into overlanding, you build a sick truck, and next thing you know, you got fucking raised beds everywhere and goats and chickens, and I'm going to have, who fucking knows what I'm going to have. It's going to get wild. So anyways, I'm going to try and screen share again to you guys, see if I can keep you guys on with me here. And here we go. Okay. So I've got Miso Customs lights here, and these are the lights for the 3rd gen Tacoma. And they change between white and red. So that's something that's really high on my radar. They're actually super expensive, dude. Like, they're super expensive. But why I like them is because I can then switch between red light and white light. And red light, to me, I'm a big red light guy. So I want something where I can click it and it replaces the entire fixture, to where you can go, from red light to white light in order to keep bugs down and stuff. So I really like it. I might even just get the full red light ones. That's an option. You can get all white, you can get all red. And then you're not dealing with the bulbs, which are a huge pain in the ass to install on these things. So I really like these because you can switch between white and red. I may actually, for the people that go out with me, I may actually just get the all red ones and live with it. I think for me, even the reason I like them even further is the brand's awesome, the warranty is awesome, the customer service is awesome. They've been around a long time. Miso Customs has been around a long time, and you can even see on the page I have up. They've got a ton of products. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm going to spend my real ass money on this. But that red light keeps everything down. But I tend to think, okay, that if I'm getting a kid in and out of my truck and the light is red, I might be less likely to wake them up if they're asleep. And that guy, ladies and gentlemen, is huge. That's freaking huge for me. So those are the Miso Custom dome lights. They switch between white and everything, white and red, or you can get solid colors. But that's one of the products I'm looking at. So I'm going to exit that bad boy. And then I'm going to bring you guys on to another product that I'm looking at that I actually just bought. So let me go ahead and get it going. Do you guys still have me? It's going to do this every time. Is everybody still with me? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a sleeping bag. So this is the XPED Mega Duo 25 degree and 40 degree sleeping bag. Now I'm going to explain why it's 25 degrees and 40 degrees. And this is super sick. And there's a use case for this. So I actually have a Kelty double wide, and Kelty is a sleeping bag company, tent company that I'm actually really loyal with. I have a Kelty love seat. That's a big chair. My kids all have Kelty bags. But quite frankly, I switch tents, and I have a hard shell that folds out. And so when I fold it back in and close it, that sleeping bag flat out is just too big. And it just was making my tent a little more of a pain in the ass to put up. So I went to this. I bought this XPED Mega Sleep Duo yesterday. I was shopping, and I'll go on and on and on about REI points, but I had like $110 of REI points. So by no means, guys, I'm not rich, but if you stay buying stuff at REI, you get points back. So again, I always look at REI. If REI has it, that's good stuff. I saved I think I talked about it on the first podcast. I got a 75-liter Dometic dual zone for $780 because of REI points that I had saved, and they let me do it. That's a $1,300 fridge. So I'm always about looking for the sale, and if I can't find the sale, it's a good excuse to buy all my bottles and whatever. I buy all my backpacking meals there, the freeze-dried meals. You gain points off of it. So REI, a huge advocate of REI. So anyways, this sleeping bag, the double wide I had, the Kelty double wide, was not only thick, it was huge. It weighed 11 pounds. So packed. It's like, I mean, this shit's like this big. Like, it's huge, dude. So I was like, man, I got to find something that's lighter. This sleeping bag weighs 4 pounds. 4 freaking pounds. And then Ladina, my girlfriend, back to the chickens and the sourdough and natural shit. It's chemical free products. So nothing in this it has any chemicals to it. So it's a lot better for your skin if you're sensitive skinned or whatever. That will matter to some people, but I could really give a shit less. The 4 pounds matters to me. Also, if you look at this one, it's actually a rectangle, and I have one. The one we have now kind of domes. It's not 2 single mummies, but it's like one big one. And I feel that I'm 5'7" or 8, but my feet are at the end of the bag because I have to pull so much of it out to put my pillow on it. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, that sucks. So this bag is legit 4 pounds. And the reason it's a 25 and a 45, and people that have looked at 2-person, you can unzip it and turn it into 2 separate bags, but that's not why it's a 25 and a 45. So the way this bag is designed is it flips over. So you can flip this bag over, and there's 2 different weights depending on the side. So this dark blue side, if that's up and the light blue side is down, is a 25-degree bag. If you flip it over to the blue side down and the light blue side up, it's a 40-degree bag. So you have a little bit of availability to switch that up through the seasons. Now, I am a big fan of XPED. I have an XPED mat. Again, I got it at REI. It is sick. I love it. It's fantastic. The quality on it's awesome. Again, warranty, quality, customer service, been around a long time. It matters to me a lot. But again, I bought it at REI. The XPED sleep mat is probably, I don't even know, 300 bucks. I did not pay 300 bucks for it. I don't remember what I paid for it. But also remember, for your Christmases, like my mom and dad give gift cards. Like everybody does gift cards when you're old. Like get a bunch of REI ones and you can like legit get some cool stuff. Um, so that's another thing I went for. Now I've got two more products I'm going to show you guys. So I'm going a little over on time. So that's the second one. Third, I went with here. Am I still with you guys? Okay. Third, I've got a knife, and I'm a big knife guy. You guys will. So I like sharing this kind of stuff with you guys because I am such a big knife guy. So let me get it to where it's sharing with you in a screen that you can see it. Okay, okie dokie. Here we go. Let's send it. All right. Third product, freaking Gerber mini cleaver. So this impulse buy, okay, guys. Does it have a use? I mean, cut meat, cut boxes. I mean, what? I mean, okay, I'll find a use for it because it's fucking sick. This thing is tiny. So I will, not only will I show you there, but I'll show you here. I already have it. This thing is tiny. It's freaking sick. Dude, this thing is the shit. And here's it's got a little clip in it. The case has like a little clip. This thing's tight, dude. It's a little expensive for what it is. Full tang. I don't know if you guys can see the tang goes all the way through. What the tang is like the blade material on into it. This thing's freaking sick. I saw it on YouTube and I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. Also, I'm not gonna bring this up, but if you got a Toyota and you don't have this sticker, like what the fuck are you doing? You need this sticker. Ninja Turtles for life. Anyways, so that cleaver's sick. That was on my radar. I just bought it. I would say impulse, but like I saw it on YouTube. I was like, I need that. Amazon, bought it before he was done talking about it. I was like, I need it. I need that. It's sick. Love it. So it was definitely something that was on my radar. Now third or fourth product. So I'm done with that. Like I really have no reason. It's a knife. It's a Gerber. I have other Gerber knives that I use to baton wood and stuff. They're quality products, but I love that squared off blade. Like to open in food, it's just great. Like I love it. It's fantastic. So the next thing and last thing I got that's on my radar, this is another thing I bought already. And it is the Ultimate 9 throttle controller. So this is Ultimate 9, and I'm not gonna, so Ultimate 9 makes throttle controllers. If you guys ever see my truck, it has an extremely large Australian influence. Ultimate 9 started off in Australia. It's now come to the US and it's a throttle controller. Now my truck is also tuned. So I was like, I don't need a throttle controller. Do I need a throttle controller? So I was like, man, I want to look at it. I contacted them. I have spoken with them. I did not get my throttle controller for free, but I will tell you guys they made it a good deal for me. They were great people. They're in Texas now. I was like, my email signature says that I'm a U.S. Marine and stuff like that. So they were like, hey, thanks for your service. Here's a discount like for you. I will, if anybody wants to DM me, I literally I'll pass that discount code on to you if this is something you're interested in. So what it is, it's an adjustable throttle controller with like eco mode, ultimate mode, and it has 9 settings. And it also has a smart mode that learns. But so my truck is tuned and I have a Tacoma. And if you're not familiar with Tacomas or Toyotas in general, they gear hunt real bad. Well, what this does is it doesn't plug into your ECU. It plugs into the literal gas pedal input. And so you can make your gas pedal more sensitive, or actually you can even dull it down further. So for me, I liked it because my truck is losing its mind going up hills downshifting and upshifting, and this will keep it locked in a gear better, because not only do I have it tuned and I have a transmission tune, now I've got the appropriate throttle input to keep it locked in that gear. So that'll help. I think had I known how effective these things were, I would have done this before the tune, which was real expensive. So super great product, love it. Added it to my truck with a tune, really like it. If you have a 4-wheel drive and you find yourself in a situation where you're in 4 low and your throttle's real lungy, you can turn this down and dampen that, actually. So I really wanted it for that aspect as well. So you could kind of slow the throttle response down that the gears are kind of putting in play in 4-wheel low first gear. So that's the last product I was looking at. Super great product. If you think your truck or car or whatever sluggish, these things don't cost. They're less than $200 by a lot. So it's also not an expensive thing. Ultimate 9, I think it's a great product. And it's in my truck right now. And I don't have the Bluetooth one, but some of you guys will be interested in a Bluetooth one, and I don't know if it's under $200. Mine's wired. All right, cool. So those are the products I'm looking at. So now I went through it a bunch. So now I'm going to go ahead and get you guys situated here, so we can get you guys going. So I'm going to go ahead and get the chat up on the screen, and you guys up on the screen with me here. And so, yeah, Tyson, you brought up the pedal commander. It's literally 3 times more than that Ultimate 9. 300% more money. And that's no shit. That's real life. So not something that I'm interested in to try it out, you know what I mean? So I've got the chat up. I want to go back to the chat here. Yeah, and you can re-gear, but see, the thing is, so Gallant said I re-geared. Gallant has a GX 470. It's nice. I actually just met him this week and saw pictures of his rig, and it's super sick. I like the GX 470. Unpopular take. I like the 470 better than the 460, the newer 460. So it's awesome rig. I'm really digging it. But yeah, you can re-gear, but the thing about the throttle controller is, even when you re-gear, well, now you've got an even larger ratio, like a reduction ratio in 4 low, and that would let you dampen that throttle so it's not so responsive too. So you could kind of crawl a little easier. And that's the point of it. Like, this was developed, it's for a lot of cars, but it started off as a product widely used by the huge Australian off-road channel 4-wheel drive 24/7. If you guys aren't following, you'll love them. You should. I love them, like love them. And it started there. So it's not only is it a throttle controller, it's developed based on 4-wheeling. So awesome product. But yeah, you could re-gear. And thank you, Justin, for letting me know that what your name is on here. I really appreciate that. But man, you guys are doing it. Yeah, they have. I'm going through the chat, so bear with me here. I am gonna. Tyson asked a question, and I am about it. People are here for Marvin. I love it. Marvin's the best. I'll bring on Marvin every week, but it's gonna be like an Easter egg. You guys are never gonna know when, so you got to watch the whole time. Diabolical. Anyways, so as I look down here, I'm looking. Whoa. Who's wanting what for their birthday? I want to get in on that. Who wants what for their birthday here? Allie's commenting. I'm not sure that Allie is Allie on here though. Maybe she is. I don't know. Anyways, I'll get on it. Yeah. Thank you, Gallant. You watch 4-wheel drive 24/7. Love it. They have a section called Off Grid, where they, in Australia, they call them caravans, but they pull an off-road trailer. I freaking love it. Would love to go to Australia. I have a hard on for Australian 4-wheel drive culture. Anyways, so one of my friends, and I don't want to throw him under the bus here. So one of my friends went out this weekend, and they were on some loose gravel or steep hills, and he was in the group. In the chat's up, so he'll tell you if he wants to. But he had his truck in a situation where it needed to be in four-wheel drive, but he had it in four-wheel high. And then his high transmission light triggered. In order for your high transmission light to trigger on a Toyota, um, it has to be like 320 plus degrees for that light to come on. But the reason I bring that up is that doesn't happen in four low. So this is a philosophy that I have and many other four wheel folks have, but four high is not something I ever use on the trail ever. Um, and vent Venture, Arkansas, I will get to you in a second about the air compressor. So just pause on that. So I uh I never use four high. Four high to me is in a slick situation on road. Like for ice, for ice is what I use four wheel high for. Period. On the trail, it's two-wheel drive or it's four-wheel drive selected gear first. Like I'm in first gear or excuse me, first gear four low, not four high. So I'm either in two wheel drive, four low, first gear because you don't want to go too fast in four low and first gear. If you have the ability to lock it in first gear, like keep it there, or you have a stick, that's where I'm at. Four high caused his transmission to go, in excess of 350 degrees. I have a scan gauge too in my truck, which allows me to have a bunch of gauges on my dash and you plug it into the computer. But anyways, my trans temp never goes over 220. So it stressed the transmission by far and large. Much worse. And I would even venture to guess like if his trans this comes back to my car knowledge, but if his trans pan was 350 degrees, I guarantee his converter was screaming. His torque converter was and again, I'm not saying this to freak him out. Like we've already talked to him about the preventive maintenance he should do, and now he knows. But guys, I'm not the guy here that's going to judge you for that kind of stuff. I'm here to say these things that I'm saying now because like some stuff you're just going to have to learn. His transmission didn't go out by any means. The light went on. He changed it to four low. It cooled back down. The light went off. Like not the end of the world, guys, but like you got to do stuff to learn about stuff, and that's just the way it is. So, Venture Arkansas asked what air compressor I use. Now, this is something that I've bought three or four of. So I started off. So what do I recommend? I'll just start there. I have an ARB twin, hard mounted in my truck. Period. I have an ARB twin. It's under the hood. I have an ARB twin. I started with a Vi-Air single. Then I went to a bigger single, and then I went to the ARB twin. I got sick of pulling the damn compressor out of the truck. Airing up and airing down, and my girlfriend Ladina will tell you, is just the fact that it just goes faster make airing down and airing up, like if you really are adventuring, can kind of take away from the trip. Because it's like, oh, I'm excited. We're going up the mountain. Oh, wait, 15. I got to get all this shit out and whatever. So like, yeah, I'm not about it. So I got the ARB twin, not only because it's just a straight beast, it's fast, like it's super fast. So it helps me to not be taken away so much from the adventure. Like whether you're coming down and you want to go check out the street fair or some shops, like you're not airing up slow. You're not. So I also have an end deflate 4 to deflate. But I do also have, the valve stem puller, but I have also been looking at, and I didn't put it on my things that are on my radar because I'm not looking that hard. But Apex makes these valves, quick air down valves, and I've been looking at those as well as the straw-on, the ones you just screw on and set to a temp, because airing down is sucks too. Like again, I've been doing this a very long time, so some of those things, like to you guys, even if they're novel, like you might actually enjoy it. Like I was like, I'm airing down, I'm fucking cool. Like we're gonna go do some crazy shit, mud bogging, whatever. Like I thought it was fun at first, but now I'm just like, bro, like Like, do they make Bluetooth deflators? Like, come on, man. Like, I'm getting sick of it. So, and everything's a freaking octopus in the freaking airing up and airing down world, and it just annoys the shit out of me. So I have an Airbnb twin for that. Um, Tyson said, "Don't waste money." He's essentially saying, "Buy once, cry once." I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. If I had more patience for it, the last air compressor I had would be like would be fine. I mean, did it work? Yeah. I pick and choose, like what I want. And I looked so Tyson just brought up the Morphlate, and I looked at the Morphlate, and Morphlate is a fantastic brand. And I bought a friend of mine for Christmas last year or the year before a Morphlate 2 tire thing. And he has an ARB, but I got him a 2 tire one. And I bought the Morphlate. I actually didn't buy my Endoflate, but I mean, X Overland uses it, so it's obviously freaking, clout chasing. But I have an Endoflate for. Um, but anyways, I didn't pay for it. But Morphlate is a fantastic brand, and I think it's one you guys should support. They support the Overland community immensely. Um, my friend just said that his Land Cruisers of Arkansas, is sponsored by Morphlate. My buddy Benji, I'll give him a shout out. Newfound Overland is his new project. Morphlate's a supporter of him. They've, I bought stuff from them. I've spent money with them. I think they're great. They make a compressor where you can set the pressure on it. Toyota Land Cruisers Association. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry about that. I won't do that again. But Toyota Land Cruisers Association has support from Morphlate. So I like brands that are giving back too, and I've known them to give away a lot of stuff on behalf of other influencers for their fans. So I don't even know that these influencers have their stuff, but I know they are providing them for giveaway stuff, and I like that too. Like I'm a big fan of giving back, so I really like that they do that. But anyways, they got a compressor but you can't hard mount it. And this is where I get like I'm just that guy. Um, you can't hard mount it, so you got to carry it. Well, you got to freaking put it somewhere. Well, if you're airing up and airing down a lot, like how do you prioritize what's closest available? Like, you know what I mean? Like now I got to rearrange my whole truck. Like when I did it, I always wanted my compressor in the back because I was like, it doesn't matter. But like it got to the point where I was climbing so far in the back of the truck, I was like, Jesus. So again, if you don't air up and air down much, this is irrelevant. But having a compressor hard mounted, and there's many brands that make duals now, and the Morphlate does shut off on its own. You can get an attachment for the ARB for it to shut off on its own. I also don't care what the Morphlate tells me my tires are at because I'm OCD. I want to know what my Toyota tells me my tires are at. So that's just me. But again, the Morphlate's a great product. I'm not going to knock it. It doesn't. You can't mount it in your truck though. Like you can't hard mount it. I mean, again, somebody somewhere is doing it. It's not easy to do. I'm not trying to freaking. I mean, I'm not here to tell you guys what you can and can't do, but I am here to tell you that I am so sick of building my damn truck that wasn't on my radar to figure out how to mount some other shit. Like I just got the thing that mounts that everybody uses and talks about, and it's great, and that's what I got, and moved on. Got a mount, relocated my chuck, whatever. Moving, wired it all in. Actually, not the easiest of things to do. It's not necessarily plug and play with that ARB compressor. Not terrible, but may want to have it installed somewhere. Um, I am very well versed in such things. And then Gallant said, LOL to my Bluetooth tire inflators. But like, let's be real here. Somebody's going to take that and run with it. And there goes my $1 million idea. So, but I would love it. I would absolutely freaking love it to have I'll probably get those Apexes. The only negative to them is they stick out far, and and they don't work with Toyota TPMS sensors. So you got to, there's some like, so then I can't look on my Toyota to see what, like, I don't know. Nothing I've found is just an obvious yes for me. So I haven't figured out I'm still just probably most of the time using the end deflator, the valve stem puller at this moment. Because although those aren't the answer, they were real cheap. So they work. So, um, And then Jay said with the Jay just said with the ARB, you need a tank to run air tools, and that's actually 100% correct, Jay. The reason I didn't go with a tank on my ARB, I originally was going to go with a tank, and the only reason I didn't and got an electric impact in electric tools and spent my money there is because the tank that goes with the ARB or even the Viair, you can get a tank. They have no drains for water, so they'll build up condensation and clog. So that's just something for you guys to know. Normally, when you're running air compressors, they have a valve where you can let water out because you will get condensation in your lines, which is actually a straight compressor killer. I have a huge air compressor in my garage. I mean, I have air tools and air hammers and all kinds of stuff. But the portable ones, if ARB had a means in which to drain the condensation out of that tank, I'd have a tank, but I don't because of that. Because it's more money and it's 100% gonna fail you. It's 100% gonna fail. There's like no freaking way that that thing doesn't fail you. And I've seen I wasn't spending $700 on a compressor without watching a shit ton of YouTube. So I'll be clear with you there. I saw those things fail on people that have them in a box. I saw them fail on people that have them in their trucks, using them for air lockers, getting water in the lines, tearing up a bunch of shit. So I don't have a tank, but I mean, do what you do at your own discretion. You could probably drill into that tank and make that, but the tank's like $300. I'm not buying a $300 tank that's supposed to work like an air tank that I got to make work like a fucking air tank. Like that's not. I'm not doing that. Like that's just not going to happen for me. Now Jay did send us, bro horns. So the guys with the lifted trucks and the 14-inch wide wheels, I call them bro trucks. I don't know what you actually call them, but they have big air horn things and they have tanks too. I did not look hard enough at those. Yeah, train horn tanks are half the price of that ARB. And I actually didn't look to see if they have any filters on them or ability to, let the air off, like open it up so it doesn't get condensation put in it when you're not using it. I didn't look, but that's maybe an option for you guys. I do have a group of guys um, that do this a lot. I'm just the guy that streams. Like that doesn't mean I'm the most experienced by any means or have the best ideas. I'm just the one you guys are watching. So the air horn thing might work for you. I'm freaking no clue. But then again, we're in the situation where I'm trying to figure out how to work it. Like everybody makes a thing for the ARB, and sometimes that's worth it. I mean, I went from a Nissan truck to a Toyota truck literally because of the aftermarket support. So, and that's worth a ton to me. Like I can find stuff, I have more options. I'm not stuck to options I don't like, things like that. So I like the ease of stuff. Oh, Tyson brought up silica packets again. And I talked about silica packets. All right, I'm back. I was on the internets looking up these silica packets for you guys. Like, come on, bear with me for a minute. Take a break. All right, silica packets. I'm gonna share them with you here in a second. When I hop off the stream and I'm not screen sharing, it doesn't let me. When I hop off the screen, it doesn't let me continue to talk to you guys. So I'm gonna pop up these silica packets real quick. So as long as you guys can see me on the stream, the audio went. I'm still going. You got me. It's not necessarily a technical issue. I'd rather have the ability to do the screen share and it cuts me out than to anything else. So anyways, silica packets. Here are silica packets. Hopefully you guys can see that. I can't necessarily, let me see if I can make it any bigger for you guys. Hey, man, I'm learning new things all the time. Okay, these are silica packets. You guys will see them in beef jerky and stuff. I use those to put in my gear when it gets damp. I talked about it a bunch last week. I got a lot of, I don't know what the hell that is. That is what the hell that is. Silica packets are like, I don't know what else you call them. I just know them as silica packets. But if you guys look, you can get 30 of them for $8, and they're different grams is how you can tell. Um, yeah, Allie, that's a great point. Like, Venture Arkansas just said his wife bought them for her books. That's a freaking perfect idea, actually, for anything paper and stuff to keep them from getting moisture on them. A lot of people, man, I'm a lifelong learner, guys. Okay, so like, I watch a lot of things about a lot of things. I don't sleep a lot, but I learn a lot. And people that keep historic books, it's actually like super duper important. They're in like pressurized, temperature control, moisture controlled chambers, actually, like in the basements of libraries and stuff. Like there's specific chambers for such things. So books and documents are a huge one. I would assume the White House is the same with like any historical documents. Yeah, and Gallant said I just use rice. Yeah, well, I'm not going to put rice on my rain jacket in the middle of the woods. Like silica pack. Like, I love you, man, but that's not. I'm not. I I do appreciate the humor in that though. Like, oh, I dropped my iPhone in the porta potty. I'm gonna put it in some rice. Like, it works. Yeah, I guess. But that's not what I'm doing in the backcountry. So those are silica packets, guys. For those of you that were confused last week, or those of you that are listening this week and didn't listen last week, I use these when camping in the rain and throw them in my throw them in packages with my gear and stuff to try and cut the moisture down. So I'm gonna cut that off. Um, so anyways, yeah. So that's what those are. Um, I Unless you guys got anything else, we can cut it out for this week and move on to next week. I did cover a lot of stuff. So again, I put my email down here on the bottom, charlie@outskirtsoverland.com. Send me any questions. If anything I said today was helpful, let me know. Like, that's really why I'm here. I want to continue to cultivate a community, not an actual one, not one where we're gatekeeping anyone. I want to be a place for everybody to ask questions so they don't make, some of the mistakes I made, spend extra money that I spent, or maybe just or maybe they're buying cheap stuff that's like like cheaply made. If you're relying on it to protect your vehicle or protect you or keep you out of the elements, like make sure you're buying good stuff. That doesn't mean expensive stuff always, but like good stuff. And there's a way to disseminate the difference. And I can help you guys look at those things. And again, so um, Tyson just asked, but right before we get off, Tyson just asked, are silica packets okay around food? They're literally made for food. They're literally made for food. They're in beef jerky, always. Any dehydrated food, they're in. I keep them out of my Mountain House and Peak Refuel. Anything that's dehydrated has them in it, then sealed, because they keep the moisture out. So they're good with food. I mean, unless you break them, like unless for some reason you cut it or it's open or it's exposed, you don't want silica on your food. But anyways, so cool. All right, guys, that is week 3. We will move on to week 4 next week. It will be Wednesday. Again, it's Tuesday today. It'll be Wednesday. This will also be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever. If you can watch it, or if you can listen to a podcast or download a podcast, you can find me there at Outskirts Overland. I'm also on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram as Outskirts Overland. Loving the consistency there. So anyways, if you guys didn't catch that, you can find me at Outskirts Overland. I also will message you back if you are somebody that is on my personal page and you have yet to like any of my other pages. I disdain you sometimes, and you should probably like my Outskirts Overland page if you're asking Overland stuff, because you're lame if you don't. So anyways, but I will respond to you the same on my personal stuff, but am trying to cut down on my personal stuff. So turn times on the personal stuff is in the shitter. So if you want fast responses or you want to think that I care about you. All right, I'll catch you guys next week, and I'll have some new topics for you. We'll go through them, and I'm going to continue to talk about products that are on my radar. So I will every week be kind of looking at stuff. This week I made it personal to me, but I do have a lot of friends with different rigs, Jeeps, Lexuses. Justin's got a Suburban. I definitely want to cater to Justin. He's been here since the beginning. He's just starting out and I love it. So I will start looking at stuff for Suburbans and things, and I will bring stuff to you guys that I think might be worth a look for you. So it'll just be a segment called "Things that are on my products on my radar." And I'll see you guys next week. And have a great week, guys. And